You said a word, it scares me because I was around alive and well in the 2008 Great Recession. You used the R word there, but we've seen, you said we saw this trend in 2010 with the high bankruptcies, 2020 with the pandemic, and now in 2023. Is this indicative? Will we see a recession? I know you and I have talked for the past year, and
Yeah.
there's always this looming recession, but is that likely as we sit here right now?
Yeah, I mean, this is very buzzwordy, but I think soft landing is certainly it's. I think that's becoming more of that consensus of we've seen a slowdown, and now we're kind of entering that point that hopefully, it's not very quick recovery. There's not going to be any sort of extended pain. I mean, like unemployment's getting up to 10%, like that does not look like that's going to happen, anything like that. But with a soft landing, that doesn't mean that it's boom times. There will be casualties, and we've already seen that. I mean, I think especially the banking crisis in March, I think that's the biggest, I would say, I mean, that's one of the biggest casualties. But it's seeing that with again, I mean, even if we don't necessarily enter a recession quite in the way of like, the Great Recession, I mean, where it's, again, like it's really, really challenging times for everyone, that doesn't mean that there will not be pain. And I think like this is a good way, I mean, of seeing that. I think that, again, I mean, if you're just looking at purely with rates, it makes sense of, okay, like it's going to be weighing on corporate financing costs and weighing on stocks. And we've seen that some, I don't know what the exact latest is, but I mean, still like the S&P, the Dow, it's down around 8% maybe from the peaks before rates were raised. And then also you're going to see it like within the housing market too. I mean, just with mortgage payments, are up. 30-year rates are at their highest level in 2 decades. So yeah, I mean, I think it's, again, it's not to, I feel like it's giving a non-committal answer to be like, the soft land, like sort of there's recession. Like I think if we're looking back, 10, 20 years from now, it's probably like, okay, like there's a mild recession. But I think also what's weird too is that, I mean, if you're looking at a lot of these numbers too, is that there was such a sharp slowdown for like only 2 months in 2020. So it's like, I feel like it's kind of like, the lingering effects of that. But yeah, it certainly, there certainly are evidence of that, recessionary type period.